It's a trap!
Welcome back to Star Wars News Net's The Resistance Broadcast Rumor Review, brought to you by the Resistance Broadcast patrons. I'm John. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. We have a really fun rumor review today. We're going to knock out 2 rumors and theories and speculation types of things. But first, we're going to start things off by a little tribute to Johnny Carson, which I did once before. Like Karnak, we're going to call this Johnak. And this is where I'm going to try to predict the answer to the question in this envelope. So let's try it out right now. Here we go. The answer to the question that is in this envelope. Mara Jade in canon, fetch, and a good new Terminator movie. Okay. Let's see what the question is. Name 3 things that are not going to happen that are never going to happen. So there you go, guys. All right, now that we're warmed up, let's get into the rumor review. First one being what most of you probably already heard about, that Solo series spin-off, not a sequel to Solo. So we're still doing Make Solo 2 happen, guys. This is still going on. So this is a spin-off of Solo about Maul and Crimson Dawn. Now, this was reported in a strange way because it was deemed, I believe, an exclusive. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the sourcing on it was a little weak, I would say. We were told a rumor. So right off the bat, I mean, that doesn't sound very strong. If you're told a rumor, you're not even starting a rumor. You're being told a rumor from someone else. That's like me talking to the Darth Vader mask, and he's right here. Hang on. If you sit too close to the TV, your eyes will fall out? Well, if you're telling me that, it must be true. By the way, did your parents tell you that when you were a kid? Mine did. I believed it. I sat back from the TV. So good job, Mom and Dad. But you get what I'm saying? Like, this is a rumor. Again, you know, if someone is telling you a rumor and then you're like, well, that's going to be my story, that's not very strong to me. So, and I'm not saying that the Maul series and the Crimson Dawn thing's not going to happen. It's possible it could happen. I guess what I'm saying is, if that's your lead in, like, here's my strength of my story, and it's the quote is, we heard a rumor, or we were told a rumor, you got to use a pinch of that cinnamon on that one, guys. And, you know, again, it may eventually happen. It makes sense. It'd be a cool story. I'm sure Whitwer and Ray Park would love to come back as Maul. Emilia Clarke, Game of Thrones is over. I'm sure she'd come back as Kira. A lot of that makes sense. So perhaps someone cooked it up and said, let's throw it against the wall, and if it comes true, we look like heroes. I don't know. But then from there, you have other YouTube channels. I know you're watching this on YouTube, so it's ironic. But you have other YouTube channels and you know, writers and stuff like that who do this trick where they say, I also have heard this. Now, that I have a bit of an issue with because depending on where you hear it from, because it's very easy to take someone's story and then just slap on, I have also heard this from my sources. That's what I call giving yourself, like, it's a very clever way to give yourself clout and notoriety without any proof at all. So, in other words, someone could be like weathermen, could be competing weathermen. Like, one expert weatherman could be like, I heard a Category 5 hurricane is going to come sweeping through the middle of this state. Then the other guy's like, I have also been hearing this, you know? So wherever you're hearing this type of thing, see if that person has ever broken a story before. One time. Because if they haven't, they're probably BSing you. Because if you have this type of information and you see where these people other things that these people have talked about or reported on, they have no problem spilling beans on stuff, whether it's rumors and, you know, leaks and fake theories. So if they had this information in their pocket, they would have reported on it first and gotten all the credit and the clout and the attention and the love. So the whole, oh yes, I was also hearing this. I mean, sometimes, sure, maybe, if people, you know, didn't want to report something, but that sounds like nonsense to me. So that's an old trick, I think, and we got our eyes on you. All right. So again, to sum that up, the Maul series might happen, but how this was reported is a little weak to me. So I don't know. I'm pinching the cinnamon on this, but we'll see. Next one, Kevin Feige coming to Lucasfilm to co-produce a movie with Kathleen Kennedy and the crew over there at Lucasfilm. A new Star Wars movie. The God of Marvel, Kevin Feige. No, not Dr. Manhattan. Kevin Feige, the God of Marvel. Dr. Manhattan was DC anyway, right? Stick to Star Wars, John. Got it. Okay, Kevin Feige producing a Star Wars movie. Now, this has people immediately grabbing at the Marvel strings. What actor is he going to bring in from Marvel? Are the Russo brothers going to come in and write this thing? I pumped the brakes there. It's easy to make that direct parallel, but I think Lucasfilm doesn't want to be in the shadow of Marvel in that way to say, like, we need to steal your model. And what you did, we need to also do now. That weakens the brand of Star Wars. It makes it look really bad. So I'm pumping the brakes there. First, with the actors. A lot of people immediately go to Brie Larson because she has talked about how she would love to be a Jedi and be in Star Wars. It upsets a lot of fans out there because they don't like Captain Marvel, whatever the case may be. And again, recently she tweeted her in a Jedi robe after the Kevin Feige announcement saying, did someone say Star Wars? If she was going to be in Kevin Feige's movie, and I don't even know that they have anything on the ground yet. If they're in development, I doubt they're even talking about cast yet. They're probably still developing a story, or even just working on trying to get writers in or directors in, that sort of thing. So cast will probably come a little bit later, I would assume. But let's say, for argument's sake, that Brie Larson was going to be in this new Star Wars movie. She wouldn't have tweeted that. That's a type of announcement that, especially you guys know how secretive Lucasfilm and Star Wars projects are. They wouldn't want to let her just blow the cover off that in a tweet. So to me, that tweet is almost proving that she's not going to be in the new Star Wars movie. I do think if a Marvel actor from the MCU is going to be brought over, or even several actors are going to be brought over to the new Star Wars movie, I think it's going to be one of the lower actors, less big star actors, because Star Wars likes you to be able to look at a character, for the most part, look at a lead character and say, that's that character. You know what I mean? And then you have your crowd saying, they will never bring a Marvel actor to Star Wars. And I'm not saying that at all, because it's already happened. Look at Paul Bettany. He was Vision, and then he was Dryden Voss. I'm sure there's other examples too that I'm not even thinking of. It's not one or the other. It's not absolutes. We're not Sith here. I'm just saying I don't think a main Marvel actor is going to play a main lead in the new Kevin Feige Star Wars movie. But again, we've already seen Marvel actors hop over to Star Wars. That exists. So it's quite possible and quite likely that it will happen. And the other part, the Russo brothers, they're not going anywhere near this project for that reason that I said before. They don't want Lucasfilm and Star Wars to look weak as though they have to borrow from the Marvel and Avengers model. So I think we're going to get different kinds of writers and directors involved here. They may be big-time writers and directors, but it's not going to be the Russo brothers as far as my take on it. So that is it for this week's Rumor Review. Thank you so much for watching and being a supporter of Star Wars Newsnet and the Resistance broadcast. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. You can probably do that around here somewhere. And get your notifications because we're putting up more and more content on the channel as we grow the channel. And as always, you'll see the Resistance broadcast on this channel every Monday and Thursday and everywhere else podcasts can be found. Thank you so much for your support of our Patreon page, which makes this video possible. Wouldn't be able to do this without that. So patreon.com/resistance broadcast. We appreciate all of your support over there. And again, to everyone who supports Star Wars Newsnet and the Resistance broadcast, thank you so much. You guys can find me on Twitter at Johnny Hoey, and I'll see you on Star Wars Newsnet and on the Resistance broadcast real soon when the base opens, as always. We'll see you around, kids.